Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Xbox Casuals, the Xbox podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, is the legendary, the mythical, the escape artist, Josh Finney.
Oh boy, Corey.
Josh,
Corey,
did your name make new Xbox CEO Asha Sharma's Twitter bio banner?
No.
Yeah, mine didn't either.
No. I don't think we're big enough shills.
Well, you know, look, man, we just say it like it is. If they don't like it, then I can't help it, you know?
The first month or so hasn't been the greatest optics. I'll just leave it at that.
I mean, it hasn't even been a month yet. It's been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Whatever. Close enough. Close enough. We're rounding up.
But don't worry. Most of the people on that banner definitely not the biggest fanboys.
No. Never.
Oh man, what a
sweet Jesus.
Man, what a not great look, I guess.
Yeah,
look, I don't have a problem with some of those people. I don't think
no.
I'm
somewhat joking here, but
yeah,
I'm also like not. I feel like I should make that really clear that I'm not joking at the same time.
Yeah, there's a few people on there that I'm like, I'm not sure. I don't know. I feel like you Googled a list of like biggest Xbox YouTubers, and this is, you know, had AI generated a thing.
Oh, it's real AI generated.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. They didn't use any Microsoft thing though, because they don't have a good enough image generator. They probably use like Google Gemini or Nano Banana or whatever it's called. Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so I yeah.
We wonder why people tell us that we are angry all the time.
I also like felt pretty good looking at it and being like, I genuinely don't have an idea of who a handful of these people are, and I felt really good not knowing who some of these people are.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah. All jokes about Twitter banners aside, it's been an eventful couple of weeks for Asha Sharma.
Yeah, it's been
Well, they did an all hands at Redmond HQ. And there were conflicting things that came out of that. Somebody was running around claiming that during that, supposedly Satya Nadella said that we're getting rid of the revenue targets and we're giving a blank check to Asha to fix Xbox and undo all the mistakes. And it's like, no, that did not actually happen.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're gonna listen.
Your last blank check was given to Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, we're gonna leave this reporting to the real journalists and not the Twitter hopefuls.
Hopefuls. You're giving them hope.
They are sniffing and huffing that copium right now, and that hopium. I don't know, man.
They're doing something.
They're doing something. People thought that GDC this week, like after we started seeing the pictures come out, what was it, Sunday night, I think, is when we saw the first pictures of the Xbox booth at GDC. And people were like, oh my god, we're gonna get to see Helix this week. They're gonna actually show it. Guys, come here. Can I tell you something?
Dude, alpha dev kits are going out in 2027.
They're never gonna reveal a console for the first time at GDC.
Not publicly, at least.
Not publicly. If they did show it, it was behind ultra super highest of the closed doors and NDAs.
Yeah, sorry everybody. You're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, I don't know a nicer way to say it, so that's That's the bluntness that you're gonna get. So
Yep.
yeah, that's our big story though this week. Project Helix at GDC. Most of this is stuff we already knew.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to be that guy, but because I do think for people who like don't religiously follow this news and like read Twitter and Reddit and care about their mental well-being, uh, probably didn't know some of these things were being cooked up. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of the stuff here that was talked about, I feel are things that we already knew about. Jason Ronald made this post over on Xbox Wire. He is the VP of Next Gen. I did not remember him getting a promotion, but I'm sure it happened at some point, and I'm sure we probably talked about it. It
I
had
remember when
slipped
it
my mind.
happened, when they started to, it was a little bit before they started promoting the ROG Ally as like a
Okay,
partner thing.
that makes
Because they,
sense.
because like they were, because the rumor was like they were transitioning away from consoles and really focusing on the PC UI.
Mhm.
Um, and that's kind of when they were talking about it and really starting to play with the idea of like, will the next Xbox and PC kind of be the same thing? So yeah, I remember when they were started talking about it, but I
Mhm.
specifically remember him doing an interview and them introducing him as that when they were talking about the ROG Ally.
So
So,
I do wonder what the timeline is then if these dev kits are shipping out in 2027, what that
mhm,
looks like,
mhm,
because from like some of the bits and pieces I was able to find, PS5 alpha dev kits started arriving to like mega partners. So when I say that, I'm talking like Kojima, Square Enix, probably
mhm,
Rockstar in early to mid 2019. And from by all accounts, that is much earlier than Series X and S dev kits started to arrive. So I don't know what the timeline would be on a new console releasing, but to me, if you're shipping in early 2027, that probably means you plan on trying to release this thing, I would say sometime in, I don't know, mid 2028 would kind of be the time frame. I do think the time frame is a little too tight to try and cram it into 2027. It
mhm,
could happen, but I just don't think, I personally am in the camp of, I don't think it's gonna happen, and I think it's less to do with, "Oh, there's not a big jump to be made," because I think for home consoles, there is still a jump to be made,
mhm,
but I think more of, "Hey, RAM is really hard to get a hold of right now." Like, look at all the price increases we've seen on the Series X and S. There's been one on PlayStation already. There's probably one coming from the Switch once available stock depletes. So, where does that leave you if you're building a next gen console? Like, Steam machines were supposed to release in the first half of this year, and now they're saying, "Well, we're still aiming to launch in 2026," which isn't like the biggest endorsement ever. If I'm trying to gauge if those are going to ship or not.
yeah,
And I imagine Microsoft wants to see what Steam prices a Steam machine at first to give them a sort of ballpark for what they think they can get away with in terms of pricing. This is almost certainly going to be the most niche home console that one of the big 3 has ever made, not called the Virtual Boy.
mhm, mhm.
Like, I feel like I have to add that distinction because I don't wanna get, actually
You don't
at
like the
some
Virtual
point.
Boy, Josh?
No.
That wasn't a successful Nintendo
No,
console?
it was shit in the '90s and it's shit now.
I mean,
If
you're
you
not
if you
wrong.
bought the one for Switch Online, I'm judging you.
I did. It's right behind me on the shelf, still in the
Doesn't
box.
I refuse to look. I'm not even gonna look at your screen. I'm gonna
Hey,
stare straight ahead the rest of the show.
hey, I'm
I've
I'm
minimized
sharing.
your window.
Josh, I'm actually gonna do the next episode purely through the Virtual Boy.
I'm gonna take that episode off.
I mean, just saying.
I'm gonna take the next episode off, but I like when I think about when I think about failed hardware, because and it's almost entirely usually because of 2 things. It's because of the price or it's because of the lack of games. The Series X launched with one exclusive, and it was a port of Gears Tactics. we've talked about this ad nauseum. We're not going to go over it again. I don't understand how you launched you could have delayed a year. It was COVID. You had the perfect built-in excuse. PS5 beat you to market, but like, what did they really put out there that you couldn't? No offense, like no offense to the PS5. I think the PS5 launch lineup was great if you didn't have a PS4 Pro. What did they put out that you could not get on a PS4 besides Astro's Playroom and Demon's Souls? There was nothing until Returnal, if I remember correctly. That first year after launch, it was Returnal and it was Ratchet and Clank. There is nothing. There was nothing like a Last of Us. Let's say Last of Us 2 had been held for PS5. That would have been a killing blow for you, right? But you could
Mhm.
play Miles Morales on the PS4. You could play Sackboy on the PS4. I don't know what you were looking at if you're Microsoft other than, well, we don't want the inverse of the 360 and PS3 to happen to us. Man, if you had launched that thing in 2021 instead of 2020, one, you probably could have beefed up the specs for the S a little bit more. But two, your launch lineup would have been Psychonauts 2, Forza Horizon 5, Halo Infinite. Like, what are we doing
Flight
here?
sim.
Flight Sim. What are we doing here? Now, yes, I know that I know 3 of those were available to play on Xbox One. My point remains. You would have at least launched it with software that worked on it and, weren't just ports of games that came out 8 months earlier
Yeah.
on PC. So, that's a frustrating thing to think about. And,
The
like,
the thing is like you could have obviously headlined obviously Game Pass, right? But like
yeah.
headlined with Forza and Halo, and then you could have ported Gears Tactics. Like, you could have kept that for like part of the release cadence, right? Of like,
I mean, I think you would have
oh
still just dropped Tactics when you did, honestly, just to have something. Because there's no reason that game couldn't have run on an Xbox One. Like,
yeah,
I digress. It was rough. You had the perfect built-in excuse at COVID, where I think everybody would have just had a little bit of grace there. Like, everyone would have just been like, shrugged their shoulders and went, "Okay, well, that's unfortunate," and moved on with their lives. Instead, you rushed it out after a generation that you already did really bad in, and you somehow have managed to do worse per unit this generation than you did then, and I think the lineup has actually been, like, pretty decent for the games you put out. So, what do you even do here? I think this next one, you have to get right. You
mhm,
have to get it right, and I don't really love this talk of exclusives that's flying around because I don't know how you put that genie. We said this at the time, you can't put that genie back in the bottle.
right.
And it really makes me think that, like, the decision to put Forza, Gears, and Halo, and now Fable on PS5 was not a Phil decision. I think that is my conspiracy theory is I do not think that he agreed with that decision to put those core franchises on there, and that's what led to him partly led to him wanting to retire at least. I think the
Mhm.
other is they were trying to shove AI integration down his throat, and he said absolutely not. Because Phil's actually a gamer and not a gamer in quotation marks.
Yeah.
So, like, but you have to nail this. You have to nail
Mhm.
this. I think he knows that. Like, there is as of right now, there is still no reason for me to go out and buy an Xbox, and that's a damn shame.
Yeah.
Your exclusives are what make you, and, like, listen, I fully agree with taking some of these games multi-platform. I don't even mind if you take a multi-platform after, like, 2, 3 years. It's if, like, Fable's gonna launch day and date.
Right.
Halo's gonna launch day and date. Like, that's a little weird. That probably means Gears is. Forza isn't, and that's the one where I'm like, "Oh, well, I mean, if you're gonna do it with the others, you might as well do it with the one that's gonna make you money."
Right. Yeah. I mean, Forza's the one you would do it the most with because,
But
like,
I feel like
you know,
Forza, they're gonna try to get people who can't wait to double dip on that one. That's the one game where I think they know they can get double dippers.
yeah.
Like,
You,
we're getting all this as Sony is starting to pull back and say, "Well, we wanna stop taking things to Steam." And the important distinction here is Sony is not releasing single player games day and date on PC. They never have.
mhm.
And I think I think at this junction right now, those games are not selling well because a lot of PC gamers already had PS5s. I think a lot of people have made the switch this generation. You know,
Mhm.
we had our conversation with Jeff Gardner a couple years back. He said that COVID was a huge boon to people switching to PC, that they
Mhm.
saw that spike. And I would say it's increased tenfold now. You're always seeing people talking about like, "Oh, I built a PC. I built a PC. Oh, I want to build a PC." Like, dude, there's kids that are like a third of my age with just super insane builds. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, dude, I was just happy to have a GameCube at your age. I was happy to get that $150 GameCube.
Hey, man, GameCube's the
My
best.
Game Boy and my Game Boy Advance. I was super happy to get my Game Boy Advance on launch day. I remember going to Target and picking it up. But you've got all these genies that you're trying to put back in bottles, and we're gonna get into Helix, but trying to like saying that you're putting the alpha kits out in 2027, you cannot rush this console out. There have been reports that PS6 may be ready as soon as next fall. Sony, I think, probably could put a console out. I don't know that they will, but they probably could. And the
Yeah, I
only
mean,
reason I think so, oh, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, I don't really know if they like these consoles don't need to come out at all, right? I mean, like I don't know why they're in such a rush to get them out when I feel like they're not
Yeah.
going to sell at all.
I mean, we're trying to predict market trends 20 months from now, right? That's part of our issue here. We're trying to predict what is the world going to look like 20 months from now. And
Hopefully, not another pandemic
dude, not another pandemic, but
or a war or something.
there's a fucking I'm gonna say war in quotation marks because what it is like an unprovoked attack on a sovereign nation going on in the Middle East right now that is affecting global supply chain. Like I have been in meetings all week about this shit
Mhm.
because we have a lot of government contractors that do business with my company,
Mhm.
and they are freaking the fuck out right now. They're freaking
Mhm.
out because I don't know if you guys know this, oil is used for so much more than just gas for your car. Sulfur
What?
and sulfuric
No
acid is
way.
made from that, which goes into every single like resistor, transistor, microchip, etc. You need that to make those things. And like 25% of the world's oil or something passes through the Strait of Hormuz, which is currently blockaded off and in the process of being mined underwater. And had a quick chat with my dad this week, who, when he was in the Navy, he worked in mine warfare, and he's like, "Yeah, that's just some dangerous, nasty shit." And he's like, "That was from the late '90s, by the way." He's like, "I don't even want to think about how it's evolved in the last 25 years."
Right.
So that like there was a news story that I read the other day that said like gas prices have already spiked. You know, when obviously like a week and a half, 2 weeks since this started, and they are not projected. If they do not increase any more from this moment, they are not projected to go back down to pre-Iran bombing levels until at minimum summer 2027. So if it's affecting and disrupting global gas supply chains that much already in 2 weeks, imagine what we're looking at if this is not to get all political, but imagine what you're looking at if this prolongs on for another couple months, like it most likely will. Imagine what that's going to do to global supply chain. It's already super constrained. It's already very inaccessible and inaffordable to most people. I don't know in what reality we can be talking about thinking that we're going to launch a new console in the next 12 to 18 months. I personally don't think these boxes will come until 2028. At this point, I was a big 2026, 2027 truther for a long time,
Yeah, I
but
definitely thought
the
Xbox was
economy's been
gonna.
so upended in the last 2 years that there's no way.
Yeah, I definitely would have thought at least the Xbox would have been out by at least next year, but
Yep.
it sounds like, I mean, it just clearly sounds like nobody's ready,
Well,
including.
especially when we were thinking that it was gonna be a hybrid console also.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like it's still gonna be one, right? I mean, that's still gonna be one, right? From what I've
Well, I
seen?
mean, by hybrid, I mean, like, more akin to the Switch.
Oh,
No, it's gonna be a hybrid console when it comes to being able to play all your shit across console and PC, for sure.
yeah.
Um, and, that's what I wanna get into. next here. I gotta find the story on Xbox Wire. I hope it was on Xbox Wire. It might not have been. I might have to go to like IGN or something. Because Jason didn't say anything in his post, but it was something that was getting reported. Um, I know the perfect guy to look up. Our old buddy Tom Warren from The Verge was writing about it.
Yeah, he was tweeting about the Universal Windows platform not being at GDC, which is like,
yeah,
strange.
Yeah, he posted an image from it. Evolution of development models. What it says: target endpoints includes the Xbox logo, the Series X symbol, Xbox on PC, Xbox on handheld, and then Xbox Cloud. Um, Leading PC storefronts are also listed in that same bar. Game engine, Unified Engine, Unreal, Unity, etc., etc. Platforms, SDKs, Windows and DirectX, custom SDKs, and then platform Xbox plus Windows. Um, I
So I know
yeah,
you're going to be able to play all of these games. Do you really think they're going to put other storefronts on here? Or do you think you're just
yes,
going to
no,
like,
no, I think it's a thing.
yeah, you don't think
I
you're
I'm
just going to be able
100
to
I'm
sync your libraries
100%
and play
in
them?
on thinking that Epic and Steam will be on this.
Man, what a no, I mean, like, no offense, but why even bother at that point? Like,
So to me, it is because they realize they need to do something different than what PlayStation and Nintendo have to offer. They are the most open of the big three, far and away. Like, the Xbox games have been getting put on Steam since what, 2018, 2019 now? To me, this was the logical endpoint when they stopped caring about putting exclusives on their own box. The minute they started putting non-multiplayer games day and date on PlayStation, it was like, oh, we went down a really slippery slope really fast.
man, I just feel like it's such a
It
big
was
mistake to
rumored
do
for a
that.
long time. Like, we know that there were those discussions, like, within the last couple of years where Phil had the ambition of trying to get Steam, Epic, Itch, and GOG on there. To
Yeah.
me, I don't think this is necessarily I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a weird thing because we haven't seen it done, and I think that's part of it.
My whole issue with this though is like, how are they going to make money from this? Right? That's the question I have.
I mean, if you want the brutal answer, they're not going to. Hardware always costs you in the long run, and with a trillion-dollar company, Xbox hardware is basically a tax write-off. I don't think this is necessarily the worst thing. I think what they're hoping that you will do is you want to engage with these other storefronts, and I think they're gonna look at those storefronts and say, "Hey, instead of you pocketing 100% of the revenue like you normally would, guess what? You're getting 30. We're gonna give you the exact same deal that we get whenever we sell a game on one of your storefronts where we only get a 30% split. We're taking 30% of anything that sells on your store via one of our boxes or one of our devices." And I would guarantee you they will see the bank roll in for them from those Steam purchases, because you wanna know what this does? This opens up a whole new avenue of people who can go play Steam games that have never done it before or who wanna play them from their living room. That, "Oh, a new viral game," say something like Peak goes viral again, right? Peak's only on Steam. But, oh, now you can access Steam from your Xbox from your living room? Great, I'll go buy this, like, $7 party game with my friends. Microsoft's gonna make, what, buck 52 bucks off of that? Now imagine that 2,000,000 people are buying it, you know? I know that's pennies in the long run, but still, that's still $2,000,000 they didn't have before,
Yeah.
and it adds
I
up. It does add up. So,
I wonder how, like, I mean, I don't know if they would take, do you think they would get that 30% cut, or do you think they would
I'm throwing that out there as
take
an
like,
arbitrary number. I know absolutely nothing, but
I know.
typically that's the cut that Xbox and Sony take when something is sold on their stores.
Right.
So I would imagine they would wanna make the split a little more lucrative for Steam, instead of being like, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna take 70%, you only get 30% for selling on our platform." I think they give them the inverse, or they give them a 50-50, maybe a 60-40, something like that, where it is advantageous for them to say, you know what? Yeah, we're going to put our stuff on there. It's also going to depend on what this is priced. If this is priced as a reasonable competitor to a modern gaming PC at that point with supply constraints and how expensive it's become overnight to build a PC, that could be the one thing that saves this brand. It's all about trying to draw people into your ecosystem and or keep them here. And I think most diehard Xbox people from the past have at least built a PC at this point. I might be one of the last holdouts, I feel. And it's not that I don't want to. It's because the parts got so expensive so fast. RAM quadrupled overnight.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally seeing even Apple putting out a $600 laptop with 8 gigs of RAM because they can't afford to build anything bigger at this point.
They're going backwards with their RAM in the next iPhone.
Yep.
So, okay, continuing on with Helix. One of the slides provided by The Verge is Project Helix Innovation, powered by, it plays your Xbox console and PC games. That just says it up front, right there. Powered by custom AMD, co-designed for the next generation of DirectX, next-gen ray tracing performance and capabilities, GPU, directed work graph execution. Yeah, that's a bunch of just buzzwords to me. Next generation upscaling, built for next generation of neural rendering, multi-frame generation, ray regeneration for ray tracing and path tracing. Again, just a whole bunch of stuff like that. Jason Ronald said in a direct quote, PC is becoming an increasingly important part of Xbox. We're bringing the best of Xbox to Windows itself. Microsoft has brought the Xbox mode that originally shipped with the Xbox Ally handheld to Windows computers to select markets starting in April. As well as advanced shader delivery, which pre-compiles shaders so you can download them alongside a game or its updates instead of having to wait while you watch a title. I can't tell you how much of a meme it's become in my friend group when we go to play Marvel Rivals. The guys on Steam have to sit there and they literally go, yep, shaders compiling. I'm going to be here for a little bit. Shaders compiling. To the point that when we were playing it like every night there for like the first 2-3 months it was out, we were playing almost every night. They were just like leaving the game running in the background essentially because they were so tired of having to relaunch it. It's the thing that made one of my friends go, yeah, fuck this. I'm just gonna start a new account and play on my Xbox. I don't even care anymore. I'm not gonna sit here and keep doing this. This is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Microsoft is pushing game developers to build just once for both Windows and Xbox instead of building twice for both, to create a unified environment where the vast majority of code that your game runs on Xbox is the exact same code that runs on other platforms.
See, that's smart. To me,
that's very smart.
That's the thing that's like, okay, yeah, now this all kind of makes sense now, right?
So,
like that's. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that is what Ronald is getting at. Also, already existing Xbox Play Anywhere program lets you buy once and play on any screen. The catalog of Play Anywhere games has more than 1,500 titles. He wants to one of their goals is to make it to where you are not buying the same game multiple times. And I think that's part of what a unified store would bring also.
Mm-hmm.
If you had Epic and Steam on there, I wonder if there would be a way that Xbox would make it, oh, hey, you bought this via Xbox or something, or, oh, you bought it through the Xbox app on PC. You're going to get a Steam key with that.
Yeah.
I don't know the logistics of how any of this would work. I want to be super honest. And I'm interested to see how they approach this. If they are just sending out the dev kits next year, that gives them 2 years to figure this out.
So I was actually talking to Laurent about this on the Boss Rush podcast yesterday. Mm-hmm. So I guess the way the Xbox interface works on the ROG Ally and like what they want to do with the PC stuff is like you can import your Steam library of games into your Xbox library.
Yeah.
And it'll just kind of be there.
Yeah,
you know?
You've been able to do that for a little while now.
Yeah, and I wonder if like that's just how it's going to work on the Xbox is like, oh, it's instead of like an Xbox Series tag or Xbox One tag.
My understanding is that's why they did this now is so you start getting used to seeing it like that. because that is going to be the UI going forward. Because remember, they had that mock-up UI where it listed Steam games and they had to delete it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple months later, it was like, oh, nope, psych, it was real.
Yeah.
My guess is you're only having this conversation about a unified ecosystem and about other stores being on there if you have had that conversation with Valve. Because you're not having that conversation if the only people signed up are Epic and like GOG. I'm sorry, no offense to GOG. All the offense to Epic, none of the offense to GOG. You're not having that conversation unless you've had these actual talks and they've advanced pretty far with Valve. That's my 2 cents on this.
Mm-hmm.
You don't make a move like this without including Valve. And I truly do think, I said this on Tower Casuals last week, I truly think that's part of why PlayStation is pulling back on the single player releases, is because Microsoft has been so loud about getting other storefronts on there. And we saw, Epic themselves a couple weeks ago were like, yeah, no, we're going to be on the next Xbox. We're getting on the next Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sony saw that and went, nope, fuck that. Because that is a direct threat to them.
Yeah.
If their shit's going on there, people are going to decide they don't need a console anymore. They'll just wait it out. And make no mistake, I think a lot of PC only gamers, I hate to be that person. I don't know how many PC only gamers are going to be like, yeah, I need to keep my PC up to date. I need to buy a Switch and I need to buy a PS6.
Mm-hmm.
I think though the advantage is so many of us have consoles as our home media centers now in our living rooms, that you're probably still going to get it no matter what.
Right.
I would just love to see the software adoption numbers there versus I'm going to wait it out and play it on Steam, or like versus how do multiplayer games sell on all platforms versus a single player game that's only available one place. Like how do the numbers differentiate and stuff? And I don't know. I'm morbidly curious about some stuff like that. And I really wish Chris Dirrig was still at Games Industry and was publishing charts like that. Jump back to our story. I gotta remember what tab I had it in. As part of the 25th anniversary of Xbox, the game preservation team will also re-release an unspecified number of older Xbox titles under the preservation program. Jason Ronald says, as one of the largest publishers in the industry, we feel a deep responsibility to preserve games from the past. Some of our most iconic first-party franchises are returning this year. Does that mean game preservation? Does game preservation mean classic Xbox games are coming to PC? An official summary of his remarks makes it sound like that. Direct quote: as part of our 25th anniversary, we'll be rolling out new ways to play some of the most iconic games from our past. He wouldn't tell us when we asked him outside the venue, only saying more news would come when Microsoft announces their 25th anniversary plans. The image that they showed that says game preservation includes notable games from across Xbox's history, including I want to read the exclusives for sure on here. Fusion Frenzy, and it has the original Xbox logo above it. Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout New Vegas. I know those weren't technically published, but whatever. They're important Xbox games. Forza Motorsport 7. That's the big one for me. Forza Motorsport 7 is here. And that is a delisted game as far as I am aware. That's the big one, I think. Gears of War 4 is here. Halo 5 Guardians is here. I think that's State of Decay or State of Decay 2 on the bottom row. And then third-party games include Assassin's Creed Odyssey, BioShock 2, Battlefront 2, Arkham Knight. I think that's Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 5. It's one of the two. Knights of the Republic, Assassin's Creed Origin, Cuphead, Rocket League, Division 2, World War Z, Black from the original Xbox, BioShock, Untitled Goose Game, Panzer Dragon, Origin from original Xbox, Portal 2, Injustice 2, Roblox, Lego Batman from the 360, Sims 4, Warframe, etc., etc. So
there's a lot on there.
That's a nice like variety of games, I would say, from throughout the history. Like, I'm interested to see what they mean by this, because them showing original Xbox games and 360 games, they've said they want stuff to be playable across four generations playable going forward for the next, 25 years, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I really, really like that. I am hopeful That's the announcement I think that has me the most excited here.
Yeah, it's definitely a plus is more backwards compatibility, right? Because like, how many people on Steam are like, I can play games from all the way back from when Steam launched, and it's like, okay, well, I can't because I'm playing on console. Like, I can play some of them, I can play most of them now, right? And I mean, every company, it gets like worse and worse, essentially, right? Like PlayStation, you're like, oh, I can play, these PS4 and PS5 games, and then Nintendo, I guess, good luck trying to guess which games you can buy. Nintendo just sell them back to you. Um, but I think this is good, and there's quite a few games that you could like look at, and even games that Microsoft technically owns the publishing rights to, right? Like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the Transformers games, like those are two
Yeah.
series at least that people have been asking for, and Phil teased at one point, but like now we can kind of see what the real plan is here now, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
I
wonder
think
if they
that's
were holding off because they knew that this was coming, and so they wanted to wait and see what they could do and how they could do it, right? So,
yeah, and I mean, they've said 2 separate times that they're done with bringing games to backwards compatibility, and yet they always figure out something new.
mhm,
So, I'm really hoping that there's a bit more for the original Xbox here this time around. Maybe a last salvo of 360 games, but I would hope it would be like some of the licensed ones. So where like maybe they go, "Hey, we can't exactly put this back up on the store unless they technically own the rights to it and they work out a deal or something."
mhm.
But hey, if you buy the disc, just like now, if you buy the disc, it's good forever.
Like
You just can't pop
Batman
an
Arkham
Xbox
Origins.
disc into a PC is the problem.
Yeah,
And we've always said that being able to carry these libraries digitally is going to be the biggest hurdle. And if they're the ones who are able to solve that, then great. Because listen, I love Nintendo. Nintendo's shit about this. There's no reason why the Wii U Virtual Console can't, you can't carry those purchases over. There's no reason.
mhm,
And, we've all gone through the stuff with Sony before, right? Like, we only got the backwards compatibility added because we pretty much begged for it
right.
for the PS5. It's
Yeah,
one of the few things that I think Xbox got right during the, um, Xbox One era, but even, like, going back to the PS3, only that original model ever played the PS2 games.
mhm,
The Slims didn't. The
yeah,
360 no, the 360, don't get me wrong, you had to go download the backwards compatibility stuff off the Xbox website because it wasn't baked into that when it was the Slim, I think it was baked in, but it wasn't baked in on the original model 360s.
yeah. I think
You
the
had
Elites had it when they
Oh, okay.
re-released the Elites, because I remember when I got my Elite, I was playing Halo 2 because like when the Elite came
So,
out, that was like the big push
fun
was there.
fun fact, Halo 1, 2, and the multiplayer map pack worked out of the box.
Okay,
Those were
I
the
just
3 that were confirmed to have worked out of the box because I was able to pop in Halo 2 on launch day without downloading any of the backwards compatibility software, and I had it. So,
okay.
but any other game you wanted to download or play, you had to go download the backwards compatibility files, and, like, some of them ran so pathetically bad, it wasn't even funny.
Yeah,
Like, a lot of them were really janky or missing music or whatever, but it still was like, well, there's still a way to play these.
yeah,
So that's my biggest hope is that we get some more titles added to this and that they somehow get those third party rights. Because if you're the console that can say, "Oh yeah, by the way, you can play Ultimate Alliance. Oh, you can play the old Transformers games on here." I don't think that really moves the needle for you, but that's a nice bonus for people who might be on the fence to be like, "Oh, well, maybe I will get one of these. I can play all the games I grew up with my kids now."
it moves the needle for me. I love those Transformers games. Those games are
Okay,
amazing.
we're also the guys who were probably already going to get this.
Yeah, Josh, don't you know?
But if they have it through a unified Xbox app, that means you could do it on your PC too. You just have to buy it through the Xbox app.
Yeah,
Imagine that you work out a deal where, "Oh, yeah, we've got it on here, but we're also gonna make sure that these are available through Steam."
mhm,
What if it was a thing where, "Oh, you buy it through Steam, but, like, at least with our stuff, log in with your gamer tag, it's going to recognize that you own this, and boom, or that you're a Game Pass sub, boom, you have access.
Mhm.
I just have a hard time seeing how within the next 10 years that they're not, one, done making hardware, and two, that they haven't just like fully decided to go into ultra publishing mode. That would make them infinitely more money than they make now, I think, because you're not paying to lose on hardware anymore.
Yeah, you're not paying for the R&D.
Yeah.
The thing is though, is like, what's the trade-off though? You're not making a 30% rip off of every game that or DLC that's sold on your platform either, you know? Which I
Yeah,
guess
but
if
like your
people
your
aren't
market share has been declining so much over the last decade. You really haven't gotten to enjoy that too much. I would say that the biggest thing would be you're still going to bring in the revenue for everything sold on Steam and on PlayStation, and that's the big one, right? You would
Mhm.
still bring that in. I would assume they would still make the controllers.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's, probably the default controller for a lot of PC players.
Yeah.
I did laugh really hard that, there was a special DualSense announced for PC players that it'll just work with PCs, and it came, like, 2 days after the story about them, stopping releasing single player games came out. That made me
Well,
laugh pretty hard.
yeah. That's funny. That's pretty funny.
Um, okay, any other thoughts on Helix before we move on?
I think I mean, my major concern is the price of this thing, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's really my biggest
it's
concern.
gonna be rough.
I think everything on paper, and if they can figure it out and absolutely nail it, and not just nail it, but also like the messaging also
Yeah.
surrounding this thing.
The
I
the
think this
messaging is
thing,
gonna be a challenge.
the messaging and the price, right? But I think on
Mhm.
paper, when you really sit down and look at it, I mean, this is a win for Xbox players
Yeah.
if the price is right.
It's a win. I just wonder how long it'll take for us to see the effects of this. Like, I would love to see them push a UI update maybe later this fall with the
Mhm,
unified Xbox app.
mhm.
I'd really like to see that come and like start getting that greater integration now so players are getting used to it. But also I mean they're saying that they're going to have those backwards compatibility announcements this year as part of the 25th anniversary. Where are we? We're almost at the end of Q1 here, guys.
Well, do you think they're saving it for the summer showcase
And they
thing?
have to be. They have to be. What I would ideally like to see is you remember back when they used to say, "Oh, we got so many announcements, we can't cram them all into E3," and in reality, we got like 4 shitty E3s in a row. Remember when
Yeah.
they used to say that? And so they would drop like a new like a news item or like something pertaining to like the platform or like hardware or accessories or something in the weeks leading up to it.
Yeah.
That's what I would like for them to do this year. Like I wouldn't even mind them say in okay, so we're assuming that the showcase will be the first or second weekend of June.
Mhm.
Like always, they've never missed it except for COVID. COVID's the one time they missed it. I would like to see them come out and I don't know, maybe have like a 25-minute presentation in May talking about hardware, the future of hardware, the future of the UI. Make just a really nerdy ass presentation, honestly. Talk about backwards compatibility. Have the stuff in there for like, no offense, the normies to be interested in, right?
Right.
Have the stuff about the new controller, about the Elite 3, about have some new accessories, have a special 25th anniversary console that you announce there and that you show again at the end of your main showcase with like the pre-order date or something, right? Have
Mhm.
that kind of shit. Talk your backwards compatibility stuff, but also talk about how you're going to change the UI, how you're going to bring this experience that's on PC to console now, like this year. Show it running in real time there.
Mhm.
These are things you can do. You can do like a little 20-minute presentation, like first, second week of May and say, hey, this is just a taste of what we're cooking up. We've got more stuff coming all year long. We've got the game showcase happening in June. We're going to be at Gamescom. We're going to be at Gamescom and at BlizzCon this fall. The Game Awards are coming up. Drop the bombshell of we're planning on doing another developer direct at some point to talk about just the future, just about future stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you have to be willing to do things like that. You have to start spreading this stuff out, because I'm sorry, if you want to talk UI and anything, if you want to talk anything backwards compatibility or controllers that is more than like a 60-second segment, you're going to lose people. People are going to like not care because they're there to see the marketing. They're there to have capitalism thrown at them.
Yeah.
They're not there for a science lesson. They're not there for the how something happened. They're there for the, oh boy, how can I spend more money and what's coming to my Game Pass sub?
Right.
Just like, not to be crude or anything, but we want the easiest common denominator as a society. They would thrill about 10% of us, I think, to see that kind of stuff. And all we're going to hear are the react pieces from legacy media saying why they shouldn't have done this. Okay. We're going to see the streamers with their clips going viral about like, oh, I don't know why you took a deviation to do this, just like they do every single time that we show anything that's, a 2D game that isn't Slay the Spire, basically. Like, at what point do you have to throw your hands up and say, fuck it, we'll just do it like Mark Cerny does? We'll give you a fucking history lesson for 35 minutes or something.
Please don't. Please don't.
Okay, let's not go full Cerny, but like let's give Jason Ronald like 20 minutes and a microphone, okay?
I mean, I would watch Jason Ronald talk about it.
I would watch this shit. But again, like I think we're in the extreme minority of people who actually want to watch this, who are gamers.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's something that like people are pulling up with like the popcorn and the watch parties too.
I mean, I'm all for a good watch party.
Yeah. So much more on, I'm assuming we get much more on Helix later this year. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw the first render of what this bad boy looked like before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they showed the Series X at the Game Awards, literally any you could reveal it at any time.
Yeah, I mean, even when you look at the way Nintendo has been announcing things, I mean, they just literally announce things randomly at 4:00 in the morning on Twitter or on Facebook or whatever. They're like, oh, Yoshi's coming out May 21st.
I will say at least they're not doing it with a major console, although we were getting kind of close with the Switch 2.
I mean, the Switch 2 was literally revealed in a 2-minute and 22-second trailer on YouTube, and they're like, we'll talk about it more later.
Still the dumbest thing. We were like 7 weeks away from launch and we're finally seeing games running on it. Just ridiculous. Still mad about that. Still going to be mad about that one.
Yeah.
All right. We have a couple of small stories. We don't have too much else, honestly. Kind of piggybacking on all of this. Pretty reputable leaker, Nate the Hate, made a comment on Reset Era earlier today saying, quote, so this was in response to, does Microsoft want your Xbox and 360 library to be put on PC? He says, this has been their goal for over a year. I think I made a comment about it before, but Microsoft backwards compatibility team has wanted to bring and make your OG Xbox and 360 digital library playable on PC. We've long thought this too. It's been the biggest rumor for like 2-3 years now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of all stems back to that Activision acquisition case.
Yeah.
I think that's when we first started seriously talking about like, shit, are they going to bring this to PC?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's when all this
Especially when they started
up.
talking about the Play Anywhere stuff too, right? It was like,
They started putting the bigger emphasis on Play Anywhere over like the last year and a half. And that's probably going to be like the last great legacy of Phil Spencer, I think, is really pushing for Play Anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you what a relief it is. They need to make it a little bit easier to search Play Anywhere games, but I can't tell you what a relief it is to realize that, like, for example, all my Atlas games are Play Anywhere. That's
It would
awesome.
be nice if they just had it at the top, like a tab of like all games, owned games, Game Pass. Like, just have it as a tab, as like
I mean,
here
they're
you
gonna
play
have
anywhere.
to. They're gonna have to do that soon. Maybe
And
that's
I
one of
know
our
like
UI updates we get.
And I know like the whole like if it's on Game Pass, it has to be play anywhere, right? That's kind of like their thing now, right? It didn't used to be, but I think that's how it is now. So like, okay, sure, but like, what about the games you bought that aren't on Game Pass? Are they play
Exactly.
anywhere? Like, how many people really know that Final Fantasy 16 is play anywhere? Or you know,
Well, okay, so I think 16 is a bad example because they made that very, very clear in the
I
announcement when
I
they
know, but
showed
I
it.
mean, yeah, but I mean like the rando who buys it on sale,
Yeah.
right? And they're like, oh, this looks cool. I,
Mhm.
I get that that was a bad example, but it's the only one I could think of that wasn't on Game Pass.
Well, going back to the story that Tom wrote a couple weeks ago about Sarah Bond and her kind of messy departure from Xbox. It appears this is an Xbox marketing campaign has been canceled. The announcement of it on the Xbox.com page has been completely erased
Yeah,
from Xbox Wire. And I believe they started to take down the YouTube videos also.
they did. If you click on the YouTube links, they're no longer there.
That's crazy to me. The only post currently available on on This Is an Xbox as results on Xbox Wire is the 2025 update featuring news about the Xbox ROG Ally. That's so crazy to me.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's funny because they're very clearly using like the same font and clearly repurposed assets for GDC
Hmm.
that were originally This Is an Xbox.
Hmm.
It's like the ultimate, ah, shit, this is due tomorrow. Just throw something out there thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I
it's
truly don't think it would. If Sarah hadn't left, I don't think that would have been changed. I think that was literally changed like 2 weeks ago, and they had to hastily just say, we don't have time to go through that stuff, goes through so many approvals.
Mhm.
I think they just changed the wording and we're told, when in doubt, ship it out. Totally not a philosophy I live my life by at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that
Oh
one?
my gosh. I do. That's
Have
good.
I told you how Ray once explained PTO to me?
No.
PTO does not stand for paid time off. It stands for prepare the others.
Oh, jeez.
I said that to my boss when I took last Friday off to play marathon, and I says, "Hey, I'm gonna be out on Friday, PTO," and she was like, "Yeah, that's what you have to do. You have to put in PTO." I was like, "No, I know that. I'm letting you know I won't be here regardless. So PTO." She's like, she just kind of stared at me. I was like, "Dude, prepare the others." My boss lost it. She was laughing so hard. I think she was delusionally tired. She's got 4 kids, and I think she was delusionally tired that morning. But yeah, she was like, "Oh my god. I can't believe you just said those words." I'm like, "Yeah." So, a couple of other quick stories that we have here. It appears the Fallout 3 remaster is, in fact coming. Supposedly, there was a set of toy listings via an online realtor that said something about Fallout 3 is coming out this summer.
Mhm.
So I thought
Yeah, the
that was really
McFarlane toy
funny.
line. It was in a listing with
McFarlane Toys spoiled it.
Yep, it was, with a bunch of unannounced DC stuff, like DC collectibles, apparently. So, sure, yeah, okay.
Yeah, the release date before it got 404'd was August 31st. I have no idea if this is going to happen or not. It could very easily, very, very easily be a placeholder date, which would not entirely shock me.
Well,
But it's just
yeah,
like
but
whenever we see
usually
people say, "Oh, December 31st is always a placeholder."
yeah, I
And it's worth noting, August 31st is a Monday.
that's a weird day to release a game, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, to be fair, it's for this Nuka Cola prop pre-order That's when
Oh,
that's supposed
the
to release.
toy? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I believe the actual description said something about, like, releasing in August, like, game releasing in August.
Hmm.
Like, dropping this summer in, like, July or August or something. Uh, I'm trying to find the actual date,
Oh, man,
but
what a
I thought it was listed. But yeah, this is like Assassin's Creed 4 remake levels of just worst kept secrets.
yeah, dude, this thing's been rumored forever.
I mean,
Like,
it was getting rumored like years and years ago.
yeah, I don't really understand what
We had
the,
that was the 15th anniversary rumor as the first time. It
yeah.
was in the leaked court documents. I personally think that they will come out and just shadow drop it at the showcase, honestly.
Mhm,
What, why not give people, something good here, to play for the you would be. But I also wonder, like, is Halo gonna be the one to do that? It's just a single player campaign, there's no multiplayer. The rumor you're hearing about Halo is it's gonna drop this summer.
yeah, I feel like Halo might be a man, I don't know, I feel like you want a
Because for me,
retail
it's
presence for
pretty
Halo
clear
though,
that
right?
Gears is being set up for the big fall drop
Yeah,
for, like, October.
yeah,
They're
especially since
clearly
it
trying to
also
stay
seems like
out.
it's the furthest one.
They wanna stay out of November with the exception of if Call of Duty does come out this year, they wanna stay out of Call of Duty's way,
Yeah,
and Call of Duty and GTA can go duke it out together in November,
yeah,
and I think they want to avoid September because that's Wolverine, and
mhm,
Wolverine is, in my opinion right now, probably the most anticipated single player game of the fall, not called GTA.
mhm.
I don't think that's a controversial statement at this point in time,
Yeah, I don't really think it is either.
and I think it'll probably be the second best selling single player game of the fall behind Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah,
So that would leave you, because we don't have an exact date on Fable, I don't believe, but they were targeting August last I heard.
hmm, yeah,
I'm looking to make sure I'm not completely full of shit.
well, Josh, you could be.
It could be. Nope, slated for Q3. Q3, Q4. My personal belief is that that'll probably be an August game. Maybe that's like early October. I don't know. But you need to spread these out a little bit is the only thing I know.
Mhm,
And hey, putting Fallout 3 remastered in the summer, great. Great. That's a great idea, honestly.
yeah,
So, especially if it's similar to how they dropped Oblivion, which I think is what they want to do here.
yeah, I would assume.
Um, last piece. We got one last piece of news.
One last piece of news.
EA has laid off staff across all Battlefield studios following the record-breaking launch
Ugh,
of Battlefield 6.
of course they have.
Make a game that doesn't get enough players or enough money, laid off. Make a game that breaks records, believe it or not, laid off.
Can't win, man.
Battlefield 6 sold 7 million copies in 3 days and was the best launch ever for a game in the franchise. That is insane to me. That is
Yeah,
absolutely insane to me.
I don't understand, man. It's just like, what do
But
you
workers were laid off at Criterion, DICE, Ripple Effect, and Motive.
it's just like, what are you doing?
So I know that the roadmap's been a little bit rough and the reception has really wavered since launch. Like, I haven't even tried playing it in the last couple of months. Like, it's that rough.
Yeah.
But I don't understand.
Yeah, like what are you doing? Like I don't understand what their thought process is or like I mean, I know what it is, but like I don't understand why that's like the process, like
Yeah.
oh, we got to lay people off because our shareholders are,
Won't anybody think of the shareholders, Corey?
I mean,
Do you think about the shareholders when you lay awake at night?
I think about them when people are laid off for no reason like this.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
It's a new kind of pathetic.
It's pretty pathetic.
I
It's
don't
pretty
I don't understand what we're doing here.
yeah, I don't understand any of it. It's just
It's mind-boggling.
yeah.
It's mind-boggling. It doesn't make sense. I nope. Nope. I'm not even going to attempt to make sense out of this one.
I just don't understand,
And
man.
this is
It's
coming on the
like
heels of Vince tragically passing away.
yeah.
It's coming while EA is in the middle of a, well, mostly hostile takeover, which they're swearing this is unrelated to the acquisition, and I don't know how much I believe that. I no, there's a lot of shit that doesn't smell right on this one. And I feel pretty okay not supporting EA a ton as it is. I really thought Battlefield was going to be the one to change my mind on that front, and it didn't. Um, just kind of waiting for that third Jedi Survivor game,
Yeah,
hoping that Respawn gets to finish it before they get axed,
right.
or before that team gets axed at least.
Yeah, I mean that's that game will come out, they'll get axed, and then man,
Who knows?
who who knows, man? It's just like it's crazy, man. Like I just it angers me to the point where like I just don't know what to say anymore every time these stories pop up. Like, I'm sorry, like it just frustrates me, man, because like, Dead Space was really great. Battlefield was really great. These Star Wars games are like some of the best Star Wars games since KOTOR. Like,
Yeah, like inarguably the best Star Wars games since
yeah,
KOTOR.
yeah. And it's like these
I
are
would argue
great.
Survivor is the second best Star Wars game of all time.
I it's just like I understand like these games need to sell X amount of units to like be considered successful, but like it just feels like the bar is so astronomically high to the point where like there's just no winning, it frustrates me beyond. Just frustrates me.
Yeah. And it should
I
be.
just don't know what else to say anymore. It just frustrates me.
Yeah. I again, like we went through a phase where it felt like every single week we were talking about more and more layoffs. We just had to talk about Ubisoft not too long ago.
Yeah.
And now here we are with another round at EA. And if anything, if history's anything to go by, 2K is probably going to be hot on their heels. Xbox did a bunch of layoffs last year. I would guarantee you they're going to do another round at some point this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at what point does it end? Like, Jeff Kaplan did an interview the other day where he said part of the reason he left Blizzard when he did was because he was basically having his employees used as leverage against him. That they're like, yeah, if you don't hit certain revenue targets, we're just going to start firing your staff. We're going to start firing people, and it's going to be your fault.
Mm-hmm.
Were the exact words that they told him, like Activision Blizzard management. I should note
Yeah.
this was before the acquisition by Microsoft,
Which is
but
so crazy.
it's so supremely fucked up. Imagine telling him, like, yeah, we're going to fire 1,000 people if your game doesn't break every single record in the book.
Right.
What the fuck, dude? What,
I
like,
mean, it kind of it almost feels like when we started hearing about how Xbox needed to have like a 30% profit margin.
yep, yep.
It's like, how?
How? We need a crash. We need a games industry crash so badly to reset all this.
Yeah.
We got to get back. We got to get back to you make games because you love making games. And make no mistake, I believe that 95% of the people in this field are here because they want to be and they truly want to make the best experience possible for players. They want to make, like, one of the things we always heard about Bungie was Bungie devs saying, we make the games we want to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
But capitalism, private equity, shareholders, billionaires all get in the way of that. Even down to Nintendo, who we never thought would be compromised. Nintendo even has problems with it from time to time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's very clearly things that, like, well, I think one of the easiest examples is, why have you never tried to improve the quality of the mainline Pokemon games? Ever. Ever. And if you put forth just a tiny bit of effort, I'm sure, yeah, your games already sell gangbusters. Imagine the reception you could get if you actually tried. If you let Game Freak do different things. Like, look at Beast of Reincarnation and tell me that they could not make the most incredible looking Pokemon game you've ever seen in your life.
So,
So,
man, this is all just so. This industry is just fucked, man.
like, Sony's noted struggle with live service games. Helldivers and Marathon are, like, holding up an entire mountain right now of failures
Right.
and canceled projects, like, just hundreds of millions of dollars, if not, like, a couple billion, flushed down the toilet.
Right.
I mean, people who were trying to make Marathon out to be Concord 2.0, like, God, disrespectfully, shut the fuck up. Shut the
Right.
fuck up and log off. Log off. You don't know what you're talking about. You've never played a video game in your life. Just go.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
not
I
High
mean,
Guard either.
I mean, I would even say High Guard wasn't even a Concord because they didn't spend $400 million on that game. You know?
No, but they somehow had to close up shop like a month and a half after releasing, which is wild. Absolutely wild shit when Tencent was backing your studio.
Yeah, I mean that's why they shut down. I guarantee you there was enough
Crazy.
funding to keep that studio open. It was the funding from Tencent that they like Tencent. It was not
Tencent?
popular
No,
enough. We're
the
done.
story straight up goes that Tencent pulled their funding.
Yeah,
Tencent pulled it.
yeah,
And it's like, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you then, because you can make a perfectly good free to play game and get people engaged. Is it
yeah.
hard? Yes. We talk about this all the time. Not every game, you're going to have way more misses than hits,
Hmm.
especially now where everything's an always online, everything's a live service. But for every game like that, there's tons of indie games that I wish people were playing or they were playing more of, that were getting more traction. Like, I'm not going to say anything people haven't heard before, but like some of the best games of last year were indie games by their very definition. You know, Hollow
Hmm.
Knight, Hades 2, Ball X Pit, Blueprints, Dispatch. All those are indies, and those were 5 of the best games of the year.
Hmm.
I mean, technically, if you want to get really technical with the definition of an indie game, Expedition 33 is one. I don't agree with it winning the awards for that, but it is technically an indie game. You know, we're about to get replaced. We've gotten Stalker 2 in the last few years. Like, indie games can come in all shapes and sizes, and it's like so many of those, like Expedition 33, I think part of the reason why I think we love games like that and Silk Song and Blueprints, and I've been playing a lot of Ball X Pit before I go to bed at night. I've been playing like 2, 3 runs of it a night. It's super addicting, and I finally got to it. Is that it reminds us what it feels like, that like you can feel the love of the dev team behind these games.
Hmm.
You can feel that passion, and it doesn't feel corporate, like, I don't know, incentivized is the wrong word, but it doesn't feel like it's been, like, I don't know what word I'm looking for. Defiled? It doesn't feel like it's been defiled by, like, big money, you know? Does that make sense?
Hmm.
It feels like it's something more pure, like, and that's not to say you can't have a pure experience from a AAA studio. I mean, I just got done raving about Jedi Survivor, and you guys have heard me talk about how much I loved Pentiment from Josh Sawyer. I liked The Outer Worlds 2 an awful lot last year. Keeper is an incredible game. Like, Astrobot. Astrobot's one of the best games of the decade. That had big money backing. But then you have something turn around like Baldur's Gate 3, you know? Like, it can come in all shapes and sizes. It's just like, we desperately have to get back to we're making the games we want to play, and we don't have to answer to, crypto bros and billionaires who have never, ever engaged in our industry or with art before and want to tell us what we need to do in order to make them more money.
Right.
That's not what this is about. Like, art is art at the end of the day. Art is something that it deserves to be enjoyed by everybody. It's part of why I'm so offended that movie theaters are so expensive. Corey, you have a family. How expensive
Yeah.
would it be for you to take your wife, your 2 kids to, let's say, a Saturday afternoon matinee? Just a
Gosh.
normal movie, not IMAX or anything. I'm assuming you need 4 tickets, obviously.
Yeah. I mean,
You gotta pay for the gas to get there. You
probably close to $100.
I assume that you have to get snacks for the kiddos,
I mean,
unless you're like me and you bring your own snacks.
I would assume somewhere between 80 and $100.
Yeah,
You know?
conservatively.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could
Considering the
probably
nearest
you could
movie theater
probably
is
get away
35
with
minutes away now.
you could probably get away with a Saturday afternoon matinee at a kids movie for like $60 after
Yeah.
taxes and everything. If you did not buy popcorn, if you did not buy them a drink or anything like that. Even for Chelsea and I to go to the movies, it's like $50. And, you know, art is always really representative of where you're at that point in time as a society. And I feel like we've finally hit the point where games are starting to be respected as more mainstream art and not just, oh, this is something that lonely, nerdy kids play in their free time. I was trying to explain to somebody at work today that I've been playing Marathon and that I've enjoyed playing, a little bit of Triage, but I mainly have been playing Assassin when I'm playing in trios. And they were like, "Oh, a healer. So, like, you play that World of Warcraft, don't you?" And I was like, "Oh god, no.
No.
No, it's a shooter. It's a shooter, but I have to heal people." Like, "A shooter where you heal people?" And this is somebody who, like, primarily just plays Call of Duty, right?
Right.
And they were like, "There's no like, what?" I was like, "Yeah, that's what I do. I heal. Like, when I play arena shooters like Rivals, I'm a healer. I'm a healer main. That's just how I like to do it. I like to play support classes in just about every game that I play. I've never been a big DPS person. Like, I like to be, support, or I like to be the tactical guy.
Mhm.
And like, that's one of the coolest things I think when we see games that break out of our sphere as gamers, right? That become real, like, cultural things. And I'm not talking like 2K or like GTA or anything like that. I'm talking when something like Dispatch breaks out, something like Hollow Knight, Elden Ring. What's another good example from last Expedition 33, Baldur's Gate 3? Like, these games that you wouldn't think would break confinement do and become these cultural things that we talk about. The Last of Us 1 was something that did that. And then by extension, there were people who never bought exclusive games before who they wanted to buy every single PlayStation first party game for the whole next generation after that because they were like, I need something that's as good as The Last of Us. And that led to them getting involved with the God of War remake. That led to them playing Horizon Zero Dawn and Ghost of Tsushima. Like, you have these amazing experiences. We're seeing it right now. Nintendo is doing it right now with Pokopia. Just some of the worst fucking marketing ever, and this game's sold like 2-3 million copies in a week.
Mhm.
You can't buy a physical copy of this, and it's just a game key card. I've spent a year yelling about how horrible game key cards are for game preservation, and it doesn't fucking matter because people who don't understand what they are just buying it because they think that's the only way to get the game. They think that they're getting a physical copy of the game, and I think that's a fascinating study, a psychological study into how, we read boxes. But man, just games are fucking awesome. Stop ruining it with big money.
Games are fun, everybody.
Games should also not cost you like $400 to make. Spider-Man 2.
Oh man,
I'm just gonna say it.
I 100% agree with you. I mean, I wonder what the budget's going to be for Wolverine, especially when you look at Ghost of Yotei, right? Where they said it cost roughly about as much as Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima's budget was $60 million. You're telling me
Which
you got
is
Ghost
a
of
fucking
Yotei?
steal in today's day and age.
Yeah. So like, even if you adjust for like inflation, or if it was like a little bit more, okay, let's just round it up to like $80 million, right? Just give or take.
Yeah.
You make that, but you spend $320 million on Spider-Man 2? Like,
dude, that
$250
continues to
million on the
blow
last
my
most
mind
part
how
2?
expensive that game
You know?
was.
Like, I mean, look, it was a fun game, but I didn't see $320 million worth of budget in there, except
No
for
game
like
needs a budget of that.
Except for the part where it says Marvel at the beginning, you know?
Right.
I mean, and Insomniac's not, I mean, they have what, 3 teams? Yeah, but like, I can't imagine the Spider-Man team was that big, you know? Especially considering that they used a lot of the same animations from the first one. Granted, it looked prettier because it was on a newer console, but like, still, I don't know, man. It boggles my mind every time I hear that game costs $320 million.
Insane. Corey, get me out of here. I'm going to talk in circles. Get me out of here.
Yeah. All right. I want to thank everybody out there for watching or listening to this episode of Xbox Casuals. You can find us every other Friday on your podcast service of choice or on YouTube. Josh, thank you for your time tonight, as always. You can subscribe on YouTube, leave us a rating, nice review. Remember to like, subscribe, share, rate, and review wherever you listen.
Thank Runner you so Casuals next week.
Yeah, Runner Casuals.
I have a lot more
you have to make a logo for that, Josh?
No. I have a lot more thoughts. I've really been enjoying my time with Marathon, though. So I have not gotten to play nearly as much as I would have liked to. We had a family incident come up last weekend, which kind of derailed my weekend plans to do nothing but play Marathon.
Mm-hmm.
But I managed to get some really, really, really good runs in last night. I think I played 9 or 10 rounds and I extracted every single round except for the first one. I'm
really loving Marathon.
Who are you? What class are you maining?
So I've been.
Or are you doing rook runs?
No, I'm not. I think I've done like 2 or 3 rook runs.
Mm-hmm.
I like triage. I like the assassin, and I like the gosh, what class is it? It's the girl with the like spiky hair.
Vandal,
yeah.
Vandal or thief?
Maybe it's
Vandal
thief?
is the one that when you use her ult, she looks like she's going prismatic and sprints around.
So it's thief. I like the drone.
Okay. Yeah.
I really like the drone.
Yeah, I need to play with the drone a little bit more. It's the one class I haven't gotten to spend a ton of time with. But I'm really enjoying when I play in threes. I'm enjoying playing assassin, and sneaking up behind enemies, sneaking behind enemy lines, and then just gunning them down, or knifing them. I'm really enjoying that too.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait to talk about this next week.
I can't either. Next week, lot of Marathon talk coming because I'm going to get another full weekend in a play. So
yeah.
I think I'm level 18 in the pass.
Yeah, I just
17, 18, something like that.
I just unlocked that last area.
Outpost?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I unlocked Outpost a couple days ago. I need to go do some runs on it. That's part of the reason why we didn't talk tonight is because neither one of us has gotten to play Outpost yet. But it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. I can't wait for Cryo Archive either. I love the ARG that's unfolding with this.
Yeah, I do too.
It's been so much fun.
It's been a long time since I've been like this invested in something new, right? I mean, clearly we'll talk about it next week. But
yeah, a lot of discussion coming next week. But.
Yeah. So everybody out there, I want to thank you so much for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.